to another video here. This is Pedro Fame. So I am currently gonna go ahead and watch something. You can react to it for you guys. I know it's been a little bit. I dropped a surprise one on you guys, and I didn't really put it on my Instagram just because that one was just like a filler. Oh, it was a filler. Should sit down better. Filler. But I'm gonna show you guys one today, and today I wanted to go ahead, and I know a lot of people are talking about these things. I'm gonna go ahead and go to Apple, because Apple recently had a WWDC event, which is their software one. So if you guys didn't know that, you guys should. I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna put the guy's volume in it. I guess I've heard of all of them. That'd be nice.
Is it worth spending the extra money on the new 11-inch M1 iPad?
So let's just cut off his volume. So I'm gonna explain to you kind of what we're watching, what you guys kind of know. It's the iPad Air versus the M1 iPad Pro, and I'm gonna give you guys a little rundown on both. So the iPad Air has the A14, which is in the same thing that's in the iPhones currently. So I think it's a 9nm chip. Same thing, same architect as the M1. M1 just more powerful. Has 8 gigabytes of it has 8 gigabytes of RAM, 8 CPU, 8 GPU. Jesus, so I couldn't speak there, but yes. So that's the difference between those two the architects. The M1 is a lot more powerful than the iPad Air. The iPad Air only has, if I remember right, it does have 8 gigabytes of RAM, but it only has, I think it's 4 CPU and a 4 GPU. So 2 high efficiencies, 2 coolings. The M1 has 4 and 4, so a lot more quieter when it doesn't have a fan, so obviously it doesn't have a dedicated graphics card. But they're only like a 0.1 inch of display difference. The M1 iPad Pro is just a lot more faster, like a lot more faster. It's a lot brighter. It's 100 more nits brighter. It's also better if with use of the Apple Pencil than the other ones. You also do have the advantage of the M1 iPad having the ProMotion, which is 120 hertz refresh rate over the 60 with the iPad Air. 64 gigabytes versus 128. The M1 iPad Pro has the 128, where the iPad Air has only 64. So that's a deal breaker. I would say the M1 iPad Air. For most people, though, I would say that are just using it for content watching and for light usage, very light usage, scrolling the web, maybe doing email here too. iPad Air would be the way to go. Save yourself a ton of money there. It has a USB-C hub to it, not a Thunderbolt like that's in the iPad M1 Pro, or the M1 iPad Pro 11-inch. That one I would say is more used for product and people that need bigger battery. Also somebody who needs who constantly watches content like insane amount, like that's pretty much their TV most of the time. I would say you want the 11-inch M1 iPad Pro. It's brighter, it's nicer. You can use the Magic Keyboard in each one, but I would say the Apple Pencil and the Magic Keyboard work better with the M1 iPad Pro because you're going to be using it for a lot of productivity with Lightroom. You might use Photoshop, LumaFusion if you're doing content creating. So those are really nice things, and it's a Thunderbolt, so it can go into an external display, even though it's only mirroring it and not full on. You know what I mean? Not full on giving you that dual display look. So that's the only thing that's unfortunate, but it is really nice. I do really like the fact that the M1 iPad Pro, to me, also looks nicer, and it's has that advantage of a display port. It also has that advantage of it being a more powerful, a lot more feature proof than the iPad Air 4. Not very feature proof with the A14 compared to an M1, which everything's going M1 with the Apple Silicon. and you guys will see more of that. But I'm gonna go ahead and watch enough of that. So you guys kind of got that down. Now that I have explained that one to you, I'm gonna click off, go back to Apple, and explain to you guys another piece of tech. Where's the other? And a lot of people are talking about this new iPads because of iPadOS 15 was something that dropped at WWDC, and you guys can see the different videos here displayed. Not the greatest performance by Apple. iPadOS 15 just pretty much got everything that the iPhone got, just put it into the iPad. It's nothing unique, nothing really great. I wish Apple did do a better job of that. A lot of people did talk about it. It's super disappointing because, well, everybody wants it to be a MacBook Pro replacement. Obviously, I knew Apple wasn't going to do that. Why would they bring Mac Pro apps to a iPad? That would then defeat the purpose of a MacBook Pro. Then they would just get rid of the MacBook Pro and just have you use the iPads. That wouldn't make any sense in the world to have them do that. I knew they weren't ever going to do that. That didn't make any sense to me. I just wish they would have more apps that could use a little bit more. They use more RAM. They could use a full 8 gigabytes of RAM and just be a competitor with it. And I don't need an extra display. I don't need none of that. I was just solely focused on the iPad getting more app support. So that's something that they didn't get, unfortunately. I wish they did get that, because if they did, I think it would have really turned it around. I was one of them on the camp, but I didn't care about the external display. Didn't care about... I did wish they didn't have the black bars, but that doesn't bother me too much because it's still mirroring it. Whatever. I didn't really I didn't really care about that too much. I cared more about could I get more apps? Could I get more developer apps? Didn't have to be Final Cut Pro, nothing like that. Can I just get more support on that end when it comes to editing videos and things like that? So that was the only thing I was ever looking for. I was never looking for to replace the MacBook Pro. A lot of people were. I wasn't. I was using it more as on the go. I would rather take it more on the go than my MacBook Pro. That's kind of what I was looking at it as more as. But I know a lot of people were looking at it as the replacement, which I was not. But yeah, so when more news comes out, I will update you guys. I was just trying. This is more of a test run for me, just so you guys be updated on Apple's and Apple Silicon and the WWDC event that went on. I have watched all of it, and pretty much have gotten my review on it. I'm just excited for iPad. I'm excited for iPhone or iOS 15 and Mac Monterey when that comes out in the fall, so I can update my MacBook. I'm not gonna get the developed version or the beta version just because I know that has a lot of bugs. I'd rather wait till the final product and it be bug free. But have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, guys, and make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.